The United States may be preparing to do something unprecedented. Not invade, not sanction, but pay an entire population to change its future. Reports reveal the Trump administration is considering direct cash payments to the people of Greenland, a move aimed at pulling the Arctic island away from Denmark and into Washington's orbit. The numbers being discussed are staggering, the geopolitical consequences even bigger. According to multiple sources cited by Reuters, U.S. officials have held internal discussions about offering Greenlanders lump sum payments. The figures range from $10,000 to as much as $100,000 per person. Greenland has a population of roughly 57,000 people. At the highest figure, the total cost could approach $6 billion. The island is currently a semi-autonomous territory of Denmark. It is rich in minerals critical to advanced military and energy technologies, and it occupies one of the most strategically important locations in the Arctic. Sources say the idea remains preliminary, but recent discussions have grown more serious. The plan offers one explanation for how the United States could effectively buy Greenland, despite repeated statements from leaders in Copenhagen and Nuuk insisting the island is not for sale. Trump has long argued that Greenland is essential to U.S. national security. He has repeatedly said Washington needs to control key territory across the Western Hemisphere. White House aides have discussed several options for acquiring Greenland. Those include diplomatic pressure, economic inducements, and even the potential use of military force. Officials acknowledge the approach risks appearing transactional and degrading, especially to a population that has long debated its own independence. Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen has responded with fury, writing on Facebook that enough is enough and demanding an end to what he called fantasies about annexation. Asked to comment on the discussions, the White House referred Reuters to recent remarks from senior officials. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed Trump and his advisors are examining what a purchase could look like. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said he will meet Denmark's foreign minister in Washington next week. Greenland is expected to dominate those talks. Trump insists the issue is about security. Speaking aboard Air Force One, he said Greenland is too strategic for Denmark to manage alone.
I will say this about Greenland. We need Greenland from a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you. You know what Denmark did recently to boost up security in Greenland? They added one more dog sled. It's true.
Sir,
they thought that was a great move.
What would the justification be for a claim to Greenland? What would the justification?
Oh, I don't want to talk about Greenland now. I just say this. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And the European Union needs us to have it, and they know that.
Behind the scenes, sources say the urgency has increased sharply. That shift follows the dramatic U.S. operation that captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. One source says White House aides now see momentum and want to carry it into Trump's other long-standing geopolitical goals. Internal deliberations over Greenland date back to before Trump took office, but aides are now considering higher payments than ever before. A $100,000 payment per person is no longer theoretical. It is being treated as a real option. Many details remain unclear. There's no confirmed timeline, no framework for distribution, and no agreement on what Greenlanders would be expected to give in return. Officials say military intervention remains possible, but Washington would prefer to buy the island or acquire it through diplomatic means. One idea gaining attention is a compact of free association, known as a COFA. These agreements currently apply to Micronesia, the Marshall Islands, and Palau. Under such deals, the U.S. provides essential services and military protection. In exchange, American forces operate freely and trade flows duty-free. For Greenland, such a deal would likely require independence from Denmark. Payments could be used to encourage a vote in favor of separation. Polls show most Greenlanders want independence, but economic fears have stalled any referendum. Surveys also show most Greenlanders do not want to become part of the United States. reaction across Europe has been swift and hostile, especially given that the US and Denmark are NATO allies. France, Germany, Italy, Poland, Spain, Britain, and Denmark issued a joint statement this week. They said only Greenland and Denmark can decide their future relationship.
The messages that we hear regarding Greenland are extremely concerning, and we have had discussions also among the Europeans. If this is a real threat, and if it is, then what would be our response? So, as Denmark has been a good ally for United States, and all this, statements are not really helping the stability of the world, I would say. The international law is very clear. We have to stick to it. It is clear that it is the only thing that protects smaller countries, and that's why it is in the interest of all of us, and we discussed this today as well, that we uphold the international law on all levels.
What I said last year about the reactionary international movement remains true. I even believe that there is currently a process, openly embraced by some, of recolonization. But fundamentally, we have found ourselves caught in a very strange game, where we, French and Europeans, are subjected to anti-colonial rhetoric that no longer corresponds to realities, to our practices, and we are subjected to neo-colonial aggression from some. A bad situation, one might say. I believe that if we show consistency, determination, and action, it can be fruitful, but it will require a great deal of endurance. So, this is a vast subject, and frankly, it might seem completely naive and ironic to tell you that we're going to address international governance at a time when I'm telling you that there's utter chaos, the law of the strongest prevails, and every day people wonder if Greenland will be invaded, if Canada will be threatened by becoming the 51st state, or if Taiwan will be further encircled. Several of you, ambassadors, mentioned this in our discussions this morning. I think, on the contrary, that this is the right time. And in fact, it might be the only time. And it might be the right time to truly reinvest in the United Nations. Regarding Greenland, I don't want to repeat myself here either. I have already spoken on this subject. The President of the Republic himself visited there this summer in June, and I went there in August to affirm our support for the Danish and Greenlandic authorities, strengthen our diplomatic and strategic presence in the Arctic, and we announced the opening of a consulate in Nuuk. And as the Danish Prime Minister recently reminded us, Greenland is not for sale. It is not up for grabs. We are no longer in the era where one could buy or sell Louisiana. Therefore, these intimidations must stop, and Denmark can count on the solidarity of European countries, as reiterated by their heads of state and government in a joint statement just yesterday.
The Danish embassy declined to comment. Greenland's office in Washington has remained silent. For now, Greenland remains Danish, but the pressure is building, and the world is watching closely.